Whoa! Here I am, outside of Carthy's pub, doing low energy things, like consuming quantities of booze and talking to myself. So I have the internet, so I can do these things. Yeah, well, I guess we're getting the best of both worlds, because when I'm done, I'm coming back and we'll be starting up Oblivion. Oh, hey, Rad Gamer. Good to see you. About time somebody showed up. I've been doing this for all of 47 seconds. Wait, how are you? You good? Consider this the pre-game. I want to see. I want to see what fishes are biting. I've been alright. Been drinking a lot of cocktails back home. I tried to, as you saw earlier, I tried to do a stream, and it was out in the on the balcony. But this, of all days, had to be the days when maintenance had to trim the bushes. Unfortunately, it's not fun type of bushes like a hot supermodel getting snippety snip snip. It's more the shitty type, where, well, let those bushes fly free. I thought hair was on the way back. But yeah, this is going to be a bit of downtime. It's just gone. It's a weekday and it's in the middle of Ireland, so while there might be a few people in this pub before the end of the evening, it's going to be pretty dead until then. There's about 2 people in there, which, considering last time I streamed here was 200% increase. Anyway, so plan is to go and have a few. Can't say I'm gonna drink much here. I'm already nice and toasted, but now I'm going to be a little bit more boozed up, and then I will be coming back and doing Oblivion. And I mean a long haul Oblivion stream. I'm talking about 5 hours. And you know what else? If the computer freezes this time, I'm gonna at least give it one more go. So if here to hear first, folks. If the computer freezes, I will still give it one more go. It'll take a while to restart the computer, get all the bells and whistles, but I did get that error thing sorted. Oh, nice. Ooh, I used to be such a Scotch man. I could have bought it actually earlier. There was some really nice Scotches on display. Teachers, obviously, but ooh, somebody got a jet ski. Somebody's got a jet ski. Or that little trucker boat. That canal down there is. Hold on, I can get a better picture. I don't want to go too far away from the Wi-Fi, or else the internet will cut out. So, but I can pick up the Wi-Fi from halfway through that bridge. FYI. You see the canal there, and off he goes back to the Shannon proper. This, of course, is an estuary connected to the Shannon. It's incredibly easy to get to. You just follow. You follow this stream, and it leads to it. But if you follow it up this way, it leads to my place, which is literally across the bridge. There's a Chinese there, right there. That building slightly above my manly and yet soft fingers. Yeah, right. Which has famously shitty Wi-Fi. It's one reason why I started to think, hey, if the internet's acting shit in my place, I can always just, if I've got the money anyway, I can always just stream in a pub. Of course, no one him. And I'm not cool with this, by the way, but every once in a while he'll throw me a sly pint if I don't have enough, and I'm like, oh, for God's sake, Dave, you're. It's not just that. I'm racking up a tab that one day you might call in. You know. I'm not saying you're going to call in. You're doing this just because you're being nice, but Dave's good people. I showed him off a few weeks ago. Last time I was recording here, and I showed his son off there. Steve, great guy, who might end up watching this. So hi, Steve. Um, on Paddy's last year, it ended as I was talking to him, which is fucking lame, man. Fucking lame. But that was a good night. I got to talk to the band afterwards. They wanted me to advertise themselves, and I did. I don't know how much advertisement they got, but I did as they asked. I see them again, I'll do it again. They're solid enough. Anyway, yeah. So tonight, well, yeah. Did you know South Korea? Oh well, yes, I did. Hell, South Korea, Seoul is probably the most advanced city on the planet. Like you can go to the front of a mall, and you don't need to go in it. You browse an online catalog then and there. You swipe your card, and that shit's delivered to your home. And then you turn around and go home. Like, as far as I'm aware, those places, if they didn't have the ones that don't have those services are dying off because there's no more eye browsing. It's all just sort of scan next. So of course they have the fastest internet. It's not fair to compare places to the fastest. What's the second? What's the third? What's the fourth? Let's make ourselves respectable. If we can't do Korea, fair enough. Korea's Korea on top of that mount for now. But what about the rest of the world? That's the that's the ones I want to know. What can Ireland do? Now here out in the countryside, I'm lucky I've got Wi-Fi. When I was out in the Aran Islands, about as far west as you can get in Ireland. Next stop America, as they were very happy to tell us, but I wanted to just tap them on the shoulder and go, well, actually, it would be Newfoundland, so it would be technically Canada, but they had Wi-Fi, but weak Wi-Fi. But weak Wi-Fi is better than no Wi-Fi. I might not be able to stream, but at least be able to watch videos. How here I was actually worried. Then I'm like, wait a minute, didn't I cross the bridge once and then it went from the lodge, which is, by the way, here, right above my finger. That's the lodge. The other place I always drink at, and sometimes eat. I wouldn't recommend eating. I really wouldn't recommend it. If you want to go have a meal here, go to the hotel. It's a little bit more expensive, but it's alright food. Or if you want Chinese, the place across the way, yeah, that's where you go. Where are you at? The lodge, right across the way from the lodge. Like I said, it's a room. It's amazing, fast and connected. Japan is second, and America is third. America is third, because I've heard some horror stories in America. I mean, the companies are just monsters. Like, oh well, we'll get rid of 90% of your features and then give them back to you at a premium. But video games do the same thing. Oh, Ubisoft. I actually can't. What's the? I don't suppose you remember what the best company in America is. Like they're all shit, but there's one that everyone picks over the other. It's not AT&T. I don't think so. Could be Verizon, but we're with Sky, I think. No, we were with Sky, and then we went to Virgin, Vodafone. We're with Vodafone, and of course in the UK you've got one or two others. We've also got Irish internet, which is called Air, the remnants of what was once a long time ago called Eircom Éireann, which was the first and only Irish company for phones. I don't know. I don't like getting hamstring with one or two companies. That's just a monopoly. That's just monopolies forming. Robber barons stripping you of everything. This is where I support capitalism. I support massive amounts of companies offering different advice because it will promote It'll promote it. Promote, deals. So that means promote quality. Yeah. Depends on new areas. For example, New York is good. I don't know the companies. Well, New York, I had no problem with the strength of New York, but every single place was the first place I ever went to that had those sort of like you have to enter the password that the local company gives you, or you have to subscribe to their websites. Now these days everyone does that, but at the time when I was in New York, that was the first time I ever saw that, and I thought that was a insult. Like even Amtrak had Wi-Fi at the time. When I was going into New York, I tried to like log on to my phone at the time, and it was like, no, you can't do that. You have to add yourself to our network, and I'm like, this is probably the only time I'm going to be using Amtrak, at the very least for like a decade, which has been proven true at this point. And no, no. America, I love you, but I hate you. I love you, I hate you, I don't care. Still, you make one hell of a good burger, and I'm looking forward to having that in 2 weeks. 2 weeks till fucking Omaha, baby. I'm going to be. I was about to say I'm going to shit bricks, and I'm like, that doesn't make any sense, but no, it does make sense. I am going to be shitting bricks because I'm going to be eating so much over there. It's going to be a hell of a trip. So much looking forward to it. Hell, think about this. Halloween will be over, right? Like literally over the day I arrive. All the candy on sale. Oh god. Expect a lot more low energy tastings, I'll tell you that much. And like I said in my last stream, there is going to be, once I hit 100, there is going to be already one thing up, and it is going to be on par with low energy tastings. But let's just say I'm not going to be the one who tastes. I'm looking forward to that. I look forward to it now, but actually living it, I'm going to be like 14, 15 hours without sleep at that point, and I'm going to be like, oh, for God's sake, fine, just eat the damn thing, I don't care. It'll be good. I could show you around the smoke. I'll explain this area to you, by the way. Normally there's the pool table here whenever they have a big event in there. I've shown inside in the last video. If you want to see what the inside of this place is, alright man, you do that. I am curious. I know Seoul would definitely be if not Seoul, then Busan or something like that. A big South Korean city. So normally they have the excess pool table here whenever they've got like a gig or something special going on there. Then there's this area. Of course, this is something that always gets a good laugh. Showed it on my thumbnail, but yeah. So, Carthy's weather forecast stone. Condition: stone is wet. Rain: stone is dry. Not raining. Shadow on ground on top. Snowing. Can't see stone. Foggy. Swing. Stone. Windy. Stone jumping up and down. Earthquake. And stone gone. Tornado. They didn't add, of course, that someone just nicked the stone, which I'm very proud to say no one has. This is the first time I ever touched a stone. Ooh, it feels like a stone. Now this is cool. This, of course, is a barbecue area. Yeah, well, there. Remember that. I don't know how much you saw or lost. I was just showing off. Then that area, I guess. I don't know. There's a cap, but yeah, this is the barbecue area in summertime, and at the end of this year, in fact, in the next 2 weeks, they're going to be doing a barbecue here. Now it's happening the day I'm off to Dublin, so I won't be here. But Dave comes out, and if you've got meat, he'll cook that meat for you, and I mean he'll cook it well. Not just mean well done either. I mean he'll actually do a good job of it. And then of course we've got the area around here. I want to keep close to the internet freakout. This area here, by the way, in 9, I believe it was completely flooded. When I mean completely, I mean all this. All this was completely flooded. Um, couple of years later, we moved out here, and up in Carrick, and there was flooding, which is off in that direction, and there was flooding again. This time, this was the first time we ever saw this village, and this pub was literally on the forefront, like the literal front of the water hitting. And sure enough, we we were like, oh wow, Jesus. Then we looked beyond it, and the village was fine. The rest of the village was fine. The lodge, everything else. Turns out, while it was flooding here, um, they went through like 5 or 6 pumps. They burned out, just keeping the water out. I actually had a dream last night that our place flooded, which makes no sense because we're on the second floor. If we got flooded, there'd be a lot bigger problems than just a little bit of water damage. I'll tell you that much. But yeah, it was crazy. You wouldn't think it, but them being flooded was actually a huge sign for me to actually go and check this place out. Which I'm, in hindsight, I'm rather glad I did, because here I am years later. It's a nice place. I don't just mean the pub. I mean the whole village. They've been a lot more friendlier than Carrick was. Not to say that Carrick wasn't unfriendly. I met some cool people there. Big shout out to Franco if he ever sees this. But yeah, it was weird. You wouldn't think seeing flood damage is the first thing to go like, ooh, I'm gonna move there, you know. Anyway, I'll give you something interesting to look around the background. So, ooh, I'll show you the. I'll show you. This is a surprisingly major road behind me here. You just have to look at the map to see why. No wonder the county's named after it. And I mean that, by the way. Leitrim is named after. Leitrim is named after the village, not the other way around. You wouldn't think it. It's also the first time I wear this out in public. In Dublin, you look like a Burke. Out here, no one gives 2 tosses. Have you seen how I normally dress? Anyway, Rad Gamer, what's the best internet then? What's the list? Oh, the owls. Barely noticed me. That white one is creeping me the fuck out. Racist, low energy racism. I also like the barrel seat he's got there. I never seen anyone use it, but it's there if anyone wants it. Tell you actually a story. Um, Kegs. Right now, kegs are kegs. They're just kegs. But I actually watched a lad once nick one in Dublin. And I know he nicked it because the guy following behind him was screaming, he nicked my keg, he nicked my keg. Now, this was a skinny motherfucker. He must have been about maybe 19, 20 at the most. And I mean, he didn't have an ounce of bone on him. But he was not only running super fast, which made sense, but also, like, he was hauling that motherfucker on his shoulder very impressively. Um, but because, you're in the middle of Connolly Street and someone's screaming, oh, he's nicking my keg, he's nicking my keg. A police officer saw him, a guard saw him, and slammed into him. And he went down, and the keg went down, and everyone jumped on him. Well, everyone. Enough people jumped on him that he got arrested. And the keg turned out to be absolutely empty. Like, it turns out he had grabbed an empty keg. There's a reason he was being so... He didn't even know it was empty, but, like, as far as we could tell, he just saw a keg and snatched it and ran. I get the logic, I do, but... Come on, man. I mean, even if you got it, you'd have to take a knife to it, and do you know what pressure is? Pressure and kegs do not mix. That way is the way you lose an eye. Especially metal kegs, I mean, for Christ's sake. Well, maybe he, maybe he had a pump somewhere. In which case, cool. I'd let that keg settle for like 2 or 3 days, but alright. But no. Fucking idiot. Oh well, that's Dublin for you. I once saw someone try to steal a bag of chips so he could give it to a dog. He didn't even know who the dog's owner was. The dog owner was not cool about it. He wasn't cool about it. The whole group wasn't cool about it. But Ireland, especially Dublin, absolutely mad. Anyway, I'm kind of sad the boats. Yesterday there were 2 barges behind me there, right? Now this area here, right behind me, on the dock, not the dock, the canal, isn't a traditional place where you moor up, but it is one of the spots. Dave makes a killing here in barbecue in the summertime. Oh my god, he must make the money. He must make the shit tons of money. Fair play to you, Dave. Fair play to you. But also, I mean, it's just a nice place to moor up, have a pint, and then hop on your boat and go on. Also, if you want, you can go and get something to eat. Anyway, so these boats, right, were moored up here. Huge barges. I've actually used a picture. I've got a picture of it. So the gist, it's just this huge barge. Anyway, I went up to the barge pub, which is, come on, remember inversion, right? So the lodge is up there, right behind my finger. You keep on going up, and then you end up at the barge, which is about maybe 4 doors down from the lodge. It's right at the corner, off towards Battlebridge, which I've filmed at before. Which I'm definitely filming at again before it closes for Christmas, because it's lovely. But there was this Scottish family that rented the barge out, and I gotta be honest with you, they had a 2-year-old with them. Then you're thinking, oh, a kid, great. No, it's as bad as you think. It's as bad as you think. He's just closing up. If I want to get back in, I gotta go back in through the main door, which is just on the side here. Oh no, how will I ever find my way back? But he, the kid, the noise off him. I don't know, it sounded almost like he was being exercised or something. But screeching and screeching and screeching, and I mean terrifyingly so, to the point where I actually thought the kid was maybe in a bit of pain or something horrible was going on. Put my head around. There was a 2-year-old on the high chair just having the biggest tantrum, flinging stuff around, and the parents look so mortified. Just look so mortified. That I just looked back at the barman and was like, I finished up in pint and went, well, I was gonna have a second, but can I get my second to go, please? And he's like, I don't blame you for a second. And then I found out that the kid was 2 years old, and like it was like, oh Jesus Christ. You know, when they're that age, I know a babysitter is hard to find, but I hope for love of Christ they really did look beforehand, because babies, they don't have any self-control. They're just going to lose it at a drop of a hat. They're like Tizamites. They are really in many ways the people you'll find in comment sections half the time. Well, Mr. Sun, you're going pretty quick, aren't you? Welcome to the world of the Northern Hemisphere. And I mean the Northern Hemisphere, none of that bullshit. Oh, I live in Colorado, I know this shit. No, you fucking don't. Look how quickly the sun's going down. Talk to me when you're in Alaska before you pull rank. Not to say that you guys don't have any, you don't have worse Christmases, because you fucking well do. Anyway, I'm going to. I think I'll actually finish this off inside. I do appreciate the views, but honestly, I do things in hope that I get a bit of banter going back and forth. You're not required banter, but still, I appreciate it more, and that will mean I'll usually stream more. But don't worry, Oblivion is coming when I get back, because that's my plan for tonight, as promised. So I'm going to finish this pint indoors before I freeze to death, because it got cold quick and it's only going to get colder. And when I get back, I'll hop on the headphones, keep the stupid hat on, and we can begin going around the Shivering Isles and doing things. Really, really stupid things. Oh wait, till then, see ya.